You skipped your emotions. You figured it out. It is not strong to block our deepest devotions. Just tell them out loud. It is not wrong to love. The love will stay, the light will stay, the darkness it will fade away. The love will stay, the light will stay.
I will cast all my cares upon you. I lay all of my burdens down at your feet. 'Cause anytime I don't know what to do, I will cast all my cares upon you. I will cast all my cares upon you. I lay all of my burdens down at your feet. 'Cause anytime I don't know what to do, I will cast all my cares upon you. Tis so sweet to trust in Jesus, just to take him at his word, just to rest upon.
We ran through the woods. Nothing could hurt us except for ourselves. Stuck in childhood. Every day there were new sights and smells. As the sun was shining on our skin, love with being alive. We've been using all our time to play pretend. With just our minds and hearts combined, thoughts and all our love aligned, and we never feel alone again. There's
setting on our skin. In love with being alive, we've been using all our time to play pretend. With just our minds and hearts combined, thoughts and all our love align, and we never feel alone again.
Time moved fast, forgetting our past. As our lives went on, different paths we all traveled down, but we still shared them all. So we always came back to visit our town. As the sun was rising on our skin, in love with being alive, we'd been using all the time to play pretend. With just our minds and hearts combined, thoughts and all our love align, and we never feel alone again.